This is actually came up popping out even more because the other ones, what I did is, as you can see, I don't know if you can see from there, or you can see from here. It pop out even more because I use foam tape, and for this one I use double cutting. I cut the flower twice, but you know what? I think I like the dimension with the pieces of foam under. I really do like it. Hey guys, this is Jessica Lorenko with another tutorial. Thanks for being here with me. Today I'm going to show you how to make a black and white card. But before I do that, I want to show you the variations of the same black and white card that we're going to be making together today. The variations I create this week. I made the card. This is the card I'm going to make with you guys on camera in black and white. Instead of the flowers having colors, it will be black and white, but it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. I made this in purple. That's how it turned out. There's some elevation on the background and the flower pop out because I put a double paper under. The stamp I made matching with the color of the flower, and this is how I made inside. I thought about creating this detail. I don't see many people doing that. I think most people think that if you're working on creating the front panel, it's already work enough. I know it may give you a little more work to do, but I think it's so beautiful and so special. It's like having another card inside. Let's think that way. But it was very quick to color these flowers, and I think it turned out very beautiful in purple. And then I made, this is Thinking of You, and then I made in teal color with a matching sentiment. Inside is the same with a different color, and I made the red one with also matching color sentiment, hello. And I loved how this set, it will be a set now of 4 cards when I make with you the black and white one. So this is just to, even though I'm going to be making the black and white, this is just to show you that if you don't want a black and white, if it is a flower image or any kind of image, you can make a black and white card out of that image, or you throw some color there and do some shading, and then you have a totally different look card. So just for you to have an idea of the variations that you can create with this same design and techniques. So let's get started. To start, I'm gonna be using my mini Misty stamping tool positioner because I'm gonna be doing some re-stamping. So using this tool, it facilitates your life. So this is the stamp set I'm gonna be using. Is from Techniques Tuesday. It's daisies and they're beautiful, and I'm not using the sentiments from that, but the stamp set comes with a coordinated die cut, and I think that's awesome. Especially for smaller images, it's much easier to use the die cut to cut the image, even though I like fussy cutting. I know some people out there don't like, but I do. But when you have the coordinated die cutting, it's just quicker. But this is the stamp set and die cut that I'm going to use today. So I start using my Misty stamping positioner and putting my stamping over there. As you can see, I don't know if you can see there, you're probably going to see some shiny around the underlining of the flower, and that comes because I heat emboss the image. Instead of just to go ahead and stamp the image in black, I heat emboss. So I close the Misty door, pick up the image. I'm gonna put some anti-static powder to make sure my image is nice and clear and very well defined. So the powder work its magic. I think this I got from Simon Says Stamp. Is EK Tools. I don't know from which brand, but I'm gonna have the list of material I use and the brands and the names all listed for you at the end of this video. It will be on the video, and then when you get to the end, if you hit pause, you're gonna be able to see all the materials I use. So now I give a good press. When you hit embossing, usually when you use Versamark is what I'm using to hit emboss. It's a watermark stamp pad. So when you use Versamark, I usually do it like 2 or 3 times to make sure you really, the sticky part of the ink really got to the paper, so the image can be very well defined and there's no pieces missing. So it's very good if you can do like 2 or 3 times like I just did right now. So I give a good press, and then now you can see the image is very defined. Now what I do with this is I'm gonna clean my stamp, because not only I don't want the Versamark to dry over there or any kind of ink, but I'm gonna be using this stamp one more time today for the same card. So I give a good cleaning, get my paper, and now I have the stamp that I'm gonna hit emboss with black embossing powder, black from Ranger, very fine black. So what you do is you put it on top of it. And you have this very well-defined image. If you have some powder that is stuck to the pieces of paper that is not in the image and you don't want it to, hit set over there and get those dots of black powder over there. What you can do is you go and you clean with your brush. I don't need to be very precise here related to that, because I'm gonna cut this image, so it doesn't matter if you made some bubbles there with the powder, because I'm gonna cut, so we're not gonna be there. So I put my powder away, and now I'm gonna go and hit set this image. I'm not gonna do here now, but I have already, I went ahead and I hit set this one, so that's how nice and shiny it is. And after I do that, I'm gonna use the die cutting to cut the image. You just put the die cutting over there around the image. This die cut will leave a little line around the image. I usually don't like to have the little line, but I think sometimes, depending on the image, it becomes beautiful. That's how you die cut. You put a little post tape, I do, to hold the die cut in place when you run to your machine. And after you do that, you're gonna come up with this. See how there's a little line around, but I don't mind. It's still beautiful and defined. And in this situation, for this card, I like the outline in white for this card. So after I'm done die cutting this, I need to cut the background. I decided to put this heart over there because it gave to the background some texture, and it popped out of the flower even more, and I think it gave also some interest to the card. I don't know if you think that, but I do, and look how beautiful. I think it's very beautiful. So how do I do that? I use the die cut grand. It's grand heart from Memory Boxco. This is how it looks like. It's beautiful, has these leaves and these little flowers on the heart. And if you want to make a card only with this heart, you can do. You just color the flowers and the leaves, it will be beautiful. But I decided to use the heart and go ahead and die cut And that's how the heart comes out. It comes out like this. You can see that is very well detailed and it's beautiful. And when you cut the heart, you end up with a little bag, like I do here, filled with the little pieces that comes from the detail design that they created inside. So what I do over here, that I did over here, I don't know if you can notice from the camera, I like to do this technique. I also never see nobody do that, but I had an idea one day and I decided to leave some parts of the hearts. I have other cards on Instagram long ago that I made that people thought was very interesting, that I left some pieces of the die cutting inside in place. I went back and I put those pieces inside and it created even more interest to the card. So that's exactly what I did over here. Look at what you do. You go back and you replace. You can use your, how do you call this? This is from Tim Holtz. I think it's a pick. I don't know. I'm gonna have this listed also as the tools that I use. So you go back and you reposition the pieces you cut from the heart. Look. I didn't put all the pieces back because it would make no sense to cut and then put all the pieces back, even though the design still will be there. What I do is I go back, put some of the pieces from the design back, like this one here. And what else? I think I put one more. Let me see. Oh yeah, this little guy over here goes over here. And that's how I decided to do this design. Why do I have some other of the same pieces? Because actually that's what I'm gonna have for the card. I stacked 2 hearts. As you can see, I cut twice. I stacked 2 hearts and I went back and reposition the pieces again and the second heart. And then I had a heart that will not be flat on the panel, but will be popping out a little bit. So 2 times the heart, 2 times the inside, and that's what I come up with. So this is the piece we're gonna have. And then I get my flat panel that I cut. I cut this panel. This is Nina Solar White, 80 pounds. I cut 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, score and cut. I went ahead and cut this little rectangle using my metal stitched die cut from Simon Says Stamp. I don't have the package because I lost, but as you can see, it's gonna be on my list as well. So that's the panel that is cutting, and you come up with this. And after you cut that, what I did is I tilted, like you see here, this is already cutted. I tilted the paper a little bit to the side just to give you more interest to the card, and I glued that. So that's it, it's glued. Now what do I do? Since I have the measurements on my mat craft, I'm gonna line this with a craft, and I'm gonna come with my, remember the piece that we cut, the image that we cut? Let me see, I think here is better for you to see. I align this there to make sure it's in the right position. I'm gonna use my ruler. I'm gonna use my ruler over here, but I leave positioning is just to make sure I'll glue the heart where it's supposed to be. And since I'm making a card that is black and white, I'm gonna use this sentiment from Simon Says Stamp, as you can see. It's a beautiful floral sentiment, and I love the handwriting style of these sentiments. There's many, and it's beautiful. There are many, and it's beautiful. So I'm using for this, since it's black and white, I wanted to do the You Are in My Thoughts. I think that has everything to do with this card. So this is the sentiment I'm gonna be using. I'm gonna be putting the sentiment right there, tilted like that, but straight with the tilted rectangle stitching that I cut. And then the flower will be here with the heart. Before we do that part, I'm gonna go back to my stamping tool. And I'm gonna do the sentiment before we glue the heart there. The sentiment goes over here, tilted like that. But if you want to make sure it's in the right place, you can go put the heart where you want it to be. I want this amount of space is the place over there. Sorry, the dog's barking. So I put the heart over there, and the flower gonna go right there. So we'll have a plenty of space to put the sentiment over here. So the sentiment goes over here. Now I close I can take this out. I close the mystery door. And I use for the sentiment Versafine. Versafine. Beautiful. Versafine is for detailed image, and it came up beautiful. So I clean my stamp right away because I don't like to let the ink dry on the stamp because it's not good for the stamp. So I put the stamp back where it belongs so I don't lose it. Then I have the front panel with the sentiment. And now I can go and put it back in the heart. Put the heart where I want it to be. Let's see. I'm aligning with my craft mat. Because I just want the space on the top to be perfect. So that's where I'm gonna glue. I use my combo glue, liquid glue. To glue the heart over there. You don't need to put too much. A little bit goes a long way. As you can see, I put a very little piece of tape over there to hold those detailed pieces together. You don't need to be worried about too much on this piece because the flower gonna go on top of it, and it's very, very secure there with this glue. It won't go anywhere. What am I gonna do here is Again, fixing here, fixing there. Just wanted to have that piece straight with the card. That's, I decided where I want the heart to go. And then where I decided, I just go and give a little press. My fingers are filled with glue. So you go there. And as a good perfectionist, I don't want to see any piece of glue anywhere. So after you do that, I want the flower to be even more elevated. So what do I do is I'm gonna put it here some foam pieces. To make the flower pop out even more. Just some pieces on the big parts, like here, and then one more here, and then one more here, and here I can put one that is a little shorter. See, that would do. Then a little more glue on it. Over there. This is how I want the flower to be. This is actually came up popping out even more because the other ones, what I did is, as you can see, I don't know if you can see from there, or you can see from here. It pop out even more because I use foam tape, and for this one I use double cutting. I cut the flower twice, but you know what? I think I like the dimension with the pieces of foam under. I really do like it. I wish I would have done the same with the colored ones. So after this panel is done, we're gonna work on the inside of the card. This panel is completely done. So we're gonna do the inside. And what I did on the inside of the card is I used the same stamp for the inside, and I'm gonna use another exactly the same stitched cutting rectangle for the inside. And I'm not tilting, I'm putting the right way inside, a line with the cutting. And what I did over here is that I did under a little piece of the flower, and then I did on top of it the second pen of cardstock. So how did I do that? I first stamped with my Misty stamping tool positioner. Again, I use the large one now because it's easy. So what did I do here? I think I can put it right here. What did I do here? positioning this. I stamped the flower where I want it to be, right here, straight to the cardstock, the base of the card, the inside of the base. I close the door. Let me put the magnet to hold the paper in place. I close the door on my Misty. I use Versafine ink. I put it only in the flowers where I want it to go. I don't need to waste ink all the stamp. And then I went to the base of the card. Remember, in the base of the card, I went and I stamped the flower on the straight in the inside without the rectangle stitched panel. And then I got the stitched rectangle panel. Put some glue on it. Reposition. I'm gonna let this dry. I have one done here. Reposition the card where it's supposed to be. Glue the panel in white, like you see here. You glue the rectangle there. Since I didn't move the stamp from the Misty door, I went back and I stamped again. Now I'm gonna have a little piece under, little piece on top. So I already have the inside of this card over there. Now we're gonna finish up the front of the card that we didn't mount yet. So this is the inside now in black and white. If it's kind of open like that, you just go with your bow folder or your nails carefully, or your fingers if it's clean, and then you just do it over there and the card will be flat. And if you have any bubble like I did with my nail filled with glue, you just clean with your mono glue sand eraser. I don't leave without. So we have the panel of the card already done. So what you do over here is with your mono glue again, tumble mono glue, you go and you apply some glue over there. I think I put too much. And then you can go back, and if you align with the top and side, the rest are gonna be perfect. I did here something that I never do. I never glue the image, especially with foam glue, before I put the flat pen on that, because it's easy for you to press it and for you to glue. But in this case, what you do is you go back and you do a little press like this to the sides. And then if you see some glue showing, like I have here, so hard not to have some glue on the card. You know what I used to do, guys? I used to throw my cards away. If I have some boo-boo on it, I will never be able to send to someone. So I will throw it away and start from scratch. You believe that? Thank God for people who invented these tools that save you from wasting money. See, you go and you see where there's some glue picking, and then you have the card. I'll give it a little cleaning here before I get this card dirty. So here we have, guys, the card in black and white. That's how it looks inside. And I love it. I think it's elegant. I think it's beautiful. I hope you think that too. I think you learn or got inspired about my techniques and the way I build this card. And the other ones, now I have a set that I can give it to someone as a set, as a gift. Instead of give a card as a gift, you give us a set of cards as a gift. Look how beautiful. I hope you can see as beautiful. You can see how it turned out so beautiful, this card. I love it. I hope you love it too. You can see well from there. Maybe you can see better from here. Oh, yes. So you have in teal and red and purple and black and white. That wasn't so hard, it was, guys. That was a much easier card, especially because we didn't do the coloring. But this we did, and we matched the sentiment, and I think it turned out beautiful. So guys, thank you so much for sticking around and watching this video and support my channel. That means the world. And I love you guys. I love your support, and I love your comments. And please leave a comment and tell me what you think about this card, if you like it, if you learn anything new, or if you have any questions. I would love to answer your comments. I always take the time to do. I think that's important. So if you do have a comment, if you do want to chat, please let me know. Let me know if you like it, and let me know if you end up creating something that you got inspired. If you end up creating something that inspire you through this card, and if you want to try to recreate this card, please just tag me on Instagram or tag me on social media. I'm Jessica Lorenco TX for Texas, TX, Jessica Lorenco TX. You can tag me there. If you post your picture, I would love to see and to leave your comments, and that'll be awesome. Thank you so much, guys. If you really like this video, please press the subscription button and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of my new videos. I'm gonna try my best to record one video every weekend, and hopefully I'll be able to do that. So until next time, and thanks for watching. Bye.